What's good, everybody? It's Kim in the back with my tea of the day. Welcome to episode 65, Siete and I'm back with you with another one. Another epic show that needs to be talked about. I'm quite sure a lot of people, everyone should have seen the show. If you haven't, I'm gonna need for you to get it together. But it is Girlfriends, my girlfriends, down through thick and thin. My girlfriends, my girlfriends, down with everything. My girlfriends and girlfriends. Amazing show. Thank you, Maria Akala, for bringing the show to life, for making the show, for picking the actresses and the actors, for really doing it for the culture, doing it for our people, and just showing 4 black women and a male co-stars just so beautifully was telling. The show was everything for me, and I'm just so happy that Netflix brought it on their channel. And now it's streamable, and we get to see from season 1 to season 8 how these characters and these storylines just really delved in and really escalated and innovated, and this was everything that we wanted and more. I was just so thankful and happy to relive this on Netflix. So let's get into it. Like, we have four main women, black women, all different shades and sizes. And we have the male lead, Mr. William. We have Joan, the lawyer. We have Maya, who we've seen started off as a paralegal assistant. And then we have Miss Tony as a realtor. And then we have Miss Lynn. When we seen her, she was just a moocher, a lost soul, but I think she found herself. I think she found herself a few times within the Girlfriends franchise, which is a wonderful thing to see. Someone who might be lost, someone who might appear lost, but they find themselves. It's a beautiful thing to see. So we start off with the first scene. We're at Joan's house, and we're at a lunching or dinner party, and Tony is dating Joan's ex. What a way to start off. Thank you, Marak, because you knew what you were doing with the writing. You knew exactly how you wanted these characters to be portrayed, and you portrayed them. I want the actresses, thank you for giving your all to these characters, because it was just so beautiful to see the growth in each and every one of your characters. Because from day 1 to when it ended, that last episode of season 8 was nothing but magical. But how we start off like that though? Like, we gonna go there? Okay. So we don't, of course, act like she wasn't bothered, but everyone was clearly, it was a problem, because it would be a problem. You're dating your best friend's ex. Who does that? And then brings them around for a family dinner? Like, no. Come on. But then that's Tony for you, because Tony she does what she wants, she takes who she takes, and she goes for who she wants to go for. With no request or basically allowance from anyone. She just is going to do what she wants to do, and you just have to deal with it. And if you don't, that sucks to be you, kind of thing. And I'm happy she grew out of that selfish aspect. But then you have Joan, who's like the passive person, and who just allowed it to go on. She allowed a lot of stuff from her friends that me personally I couldn't tolerate. But I don't know, it has to be a barrier between being a friend and being a pushover. You would want to be both, but you would definitely want to more or less be a friend than a pushover. You wouldn't want your friends to push you over, because how can you have trust? How can you really trust that they're your actual friends if they continue to do stuff because you allow them to do it? They continue for the seasons that we've seen. They depended on her, so they messed up their lives purposely so she could try to help fix it up. The Jones problem was, well, she had a few problems. But what? Her 3-month rule, which was a very interesting technique to see if you wanted to stay around for 3 months. If you really wanted to be invested in her for 3 months before you got some. Some people succeeded. Most of the time, people did not. Most of the time, she didn't even wait 6 months to have sex with them. But that was just a mechanism, I guess, to keep the power that she wanted. And she never knew how to be happy. And trust me, I've been there in terms of like different scenarios in relationships, like, or just people I deal with. If you're not happy, it's not gonna come off the right way, and then people just gonna be kind of turned off from you. And once you realize that you have that, then that's something you would have to want to fix to then have a successful relationship or a better connection when you meet people, type of thing. But it took Joan a while to get there because she was never really happy for herself, and if she really wanted to be married, so every guy that she dated, she pretty much already seen turn one dress. And you're crossing way so many fences and lines before you even get to marriage. But that's what she wanted. Like, you can't blame her. She knew what she wanted. It's just she wasn't capably ready to get what she wanted. So ultimately, she really drew these men away. Like, they did not want to deal with her. Like, after a certain amount of time, yeah, like, the sex may be good, but if I have to go through hoops and valleys just to make you happy, it's not really worth it, is it? Like, I don't know. But then you get, so let's talk with Joan for now. Then you have Miss Maya, who is a kind of the around the way girl, but she made it to a successful job for her, which was being Joan's assistant. And of course, she did what she needed to do in terms of getting her hair and nails done weekly. So she wasn't there for that. Coming to work late, so she wasn't there for that. And you still had Joan allow the lateness because she was her friend. And I get that, but you have to differentiate friendship and workplace, because your friends will definitely try to get over on you if you're a pushover. But you have Maya, who mom and dad relationship, and they have a kid. They're like high school sweethearts, her and Darnell. And the first season we had Mr. Flax Alexander and playing Darnell, and I wasn't feeling it. And I guess that showed off on the TV because he got switched the next season. It was cool, but he was not supposed to be Darnell. And I'm happy that they realized that. And then they brought that fine caramel brother. And he played Darnell to the motherfucking T. Mr. Kaleo Kane, I believe his name is. Yes. He was everything. And he was just everything. I was highly upset when Maya decided to not physically cheat, but emotionally cheat, which is worse. In some cases, it really depends on the dynamics of your relationship, because emotional cheating is definitely work. It's horrible. But physically, like, you physically getting into bed with someone, me mentally seeing that, or people mentally seeing that, it's still horrible. Like, it's, to me, it's like the same level. I don't know. But she emotionally cheated with this guy named Stan, and Stan became a stalker. Stan became so obsessed with Maya and wanting her to get out of the relationship with Darnell, and then trying to blackmail her, saying, well, if you don't tell him, I will, kind of thing. And then started coming around her and Jabari and the family, trying to have family dinners with them, and she was definitely doing too much until it came to a point where he found out, because Maya slipped up and butt out the house, and he found out that she was messing with Sam. And of course, your marriage is gonna fall apart. Your marriage is gonna not be what you wanted it to be. So they have to take a break. I'm happy with just a break, though. I'm happy that they still try to, date other people. Maya consistently tried to get her back. But it came to a point where they both knew that they wanted each other, but Darnell wanted her to hurt. Because he was hurt. Because he never cheated. Allegedly. Even though I still think that he did cheat with Cecily back in the day when Joan did catch him. I do believe that. However, I don't know. But through her trials and tribulations, she found herself working for the best lawyer, who just made senior partner, and she rode that wave, which hurt Joan, but she had to do what she had to do for her family, for her building career as an authoress, with the oh how yes and the oh how no her books. And that was just amazing to see her transformation from being at a job, in terms of being at something that she loves to do, which is her career as a writer. Even though it didn't last as long as she wanted it to last, but she did it. And she wasn't scared, she was unapologetic about it, and she had seminars, she had everything, and it was just so great to see that transformation of Maya. And then when they got back together, her and Darnell, it was beautiful to see the transformation of this compromise, but I'm not a little girl anymore. I'm a grown woman, and I need different things now out of this relationship, out of you, out of me. Like, I'm different. I'm not the same girl that you knew when we first got married. So they started dating. And that's the beautiful thing, like, trying to start fresh, trying to start clean, starting to really make it last and work this time. Really building a foundation as adults, instead of trying to build a foundation because she's pregnant and y'all are kids. So I definitely get that, and I'm happy that we got to see that ride. And that growth of Maya, like, it was beautiful to see. Now we have Lynn, and Lynn is a very smart individual. She was very smart. She's very open about her sexuality and the things that she did or did not do. Because we found out that Lynn definitely, tells little white lies about the experiments and experiences that she had in the bedroom. But Lynn was very smart, but she's just hasn't found herself. And it took a while to find herself. I'm happy she found herself. But you meet her as, like, this biracial girl who's just lost in the world, who just has all of this smartness, all of these degrees, who's doing nothing with it. And you wonder, where is she gonna go? How's she gonna find herself? Is she gonna find herself? These are all the questions that we all wanted to know while watching. And she was a mime. She was a tour guide. She was a erotics book writer. She was an erotic phone call specialist. She had a regular job she hated, but she found herself. This is the first time she found herself. She found herself when she found her birth mom. And her birth mom is schizophrenic and bipolar. And they were like yin and yang. Two people who does not finish anything that they start. Two people who start many things and just quit before really trying and giving it their all. They was definitely related. They was definitely mother and daughter. And her mother met her in terms of doing documentaries and filmmaking. And that was her first calling. I don't think she realized it, but she realized that this is something, and she really gave it her all. She got the funding, she did this, she did that, and it was just amazing to see her really be serious about something and really take it passionately. That it was hers, it was her own, and she definitely needed that, that sincerity from everyone, and that happiness. But then, knowing Lynn, she lost her passion for that. But her last passion was definitely becoming a singer. After singing in a band, she wanted to really just take it on her own and really become a actual national singer. Hitting the clubs, waiting up 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning just to try to get a spot. Yeah. That was an amazing thing to see her grow financially, her grow mentally, her grow career-wise. She really became an artist. And that was beautiful to see, because I felt like that was really her. I don't think she was acting that in those towards the end of season 7 and 8. I think that was just her life, her story. And that was beautiful. Then we have Miss Tony. Miss Tony's a wild child. Miss Tony is selfish as hell, but she has the comeback from the comeback. And she would read you for filth, and she's about her business. If it's not paying her money, if it's not giving her money, if it's not buying her something expensive, she doesn't want it. But she'll cross you the same way that she'll ask you for help. Even though it's going to hurt her to ask you, but she will ask you. Even if you slept with her man or tried to sleep with her man. So ask her for forgiveness. One of my favorite scenes was definitely when she was really trying to make up with Joan, and Joan just couldn't put a life for her, forgive her. And I don't blame her. You tried to sleep with her man. You slapped her all over Jamaica. And all because you didn't know what you wanted. Because you had a man propose to you, but you still wanted Greg. So, that's not Joan's fault. That's your fault. But eventually she learned from that, and eventually Joan definitely forgave her, and they tried the friendship thing again. But it was definitely a strained relationship that never got back to where it needed to get back to. And I don't think it needed to. I think that friendship was supposed to have been gone years ago. But I think just because of the years that they knew each other, that it entitled them to just stick it out and stay along. And trust me, I've been there. I've had friends or best friends that I felt like I just need to stay here even though we're not doing anything beneficial for each other. We're just here and we're not growing as friends. We're not growing as people. We're just here. We're just calling each other best friends just to call each other best friends. But we're not really best friends. So at a point, it's like, it definitely hurts. But it comes to the fact of what's best for you. At the end of the day, no one's going to have you but you. And that's sometimes how you have to look at it. It's selfish sometimes, but that's how you have to look at it in certain situations. what is the best situation for you. If this is not bringing you happiness and it's stressing you out, you're gonna have to get rid of the situation. And the relationship has definitely grown, but it never matured because they both never forgave each other for the things that they both did. Towards the later years, Joan was really in her head. She became the popular girl. She started her restaurant, and she became like an A-list celebrity while Tony was in a custody battle for Morgan. And first of all, I never thought that Tony was going to ever get married, especially not to a Todd. But I'm happy that she really found it in her arms and her heart to really love him. And I feel like, I do feel like she genuinely did love Todd. I don't think she said the right things. I think she was still understanding what love was, actually loving someone else. Because the only person that she really loved was Greg. And she didn't really love Greg completely. Like, she had love for him, but I don't think she fully loved him. But she definitely fully loved Todd. Because Todd challenged her. Just like she challenged Todd. Like, they was definitely a perfect couple, but they wasn't meant to be together. It be like that sometimes. But she needed Joan to be her best friend for that moment and go to the hearing for her custody battle. And Joan was late because she was partying the night before and woke up in her throw up. And now she had to hitch a ride, and she got there right when they're leaving the courtroom. Thank God that it went the right way, and Tony did not lose custody of her daughter because Todd decided to really just reevaluate what was going on. And yeah, you was hurt because Tony did XYZ, but you really realized that she wasn't a bad mother. Even if she might not have wanted to be a mother in the beginning, but that's like postpartum depression, which is very real. I'm happy that they talked about a lot of these topics, like postpartum depression, HIV, homelessness. There's so many different, the DL man, so many different aspects of real life that they hit, and it was just so beautiful for them to hit those topics. But she was late, and that was the end of their friendship. And this is where it got a little iffy for me. So Tony officially exited in season 6, the end of season 6. We didn't know the behind the scenes stuff, now we do now, because Jill Marie Jones, who plays Tony, she basically felt like she deserved more money. And I don't know if she liked the way her character was going. It was definitely different reasons why. But the only thing I didn't understand or didn't like is she didn't speak to her girls first. She didn't give them the heads up that she wasn't signing back on for the rest of the show. So it was just between her, Maria, and her management that took it from us. And season 7 and 8 was very different to watch. Like, it was, you knew it was something missing. And sorry to say, but it was Jill. As much as you wanted to hate Tony for the thing that she did, you can't. Because she made Girlfriends what Girlfriends was. Like, she was a enormous part of Girlfriends. And after she left, you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference in the writing, just the difference in just the aura of the 3 girls. It was weird without Tony. That's why the first few episodes of season 7, you'll just continuously hear her name going around like, I know you miss Tony, I know you miss Tony. Oh, you went to go see Tony? She came to New York and she didn't say hi to me? Well, fuck her, this time the third. Well, this is what it is. But for me, like season 7 and 8 was definitely like really showing their growth as black women, as women in general. It would definitely show their growth as their sisterhood, but it also showed all of their flaws so well. Like I was so ecstatic when Joan got married. I was hurt for her that he had to go away to finish his duty in the armed forces. She couldn't handle that. I wish that we got a better ending. Because as you know, a lot of shows, especially our shows, for our culture, have the worst endings ever. Like, the writer just gave up. And we're like, wow, I don't know what else to write. Like, we need an ending. Because the ending that we got was so fucking incomplete. It was a motherfucking F. Like, I can't give it anything else but an F. Like, it's not even a needs improvement. It's not a E for effort. It's an F. Like, I need a girlfriend movie. A full movie, 2 hours. I would rather a show, but I know we need money for that. And I don't know if they're all on board of doing it again. Per se, from the last interview that they did together, which was like 2 months ago, I think I seen it. And I don't think they're in the place to try to bring back girlfriends, if you know what I mean. Like, reinvent it, do a reboot type of situation, which would be wonderful because you was ahead of your time then. You'll be current day now. However, I do feel like we deserve a girlfriend's movie. 2 hours of just bringing the girls back for a reunion or something like that. And Tony comes and they really have a heart to heart. Whether they become best friends again or not, I need to have that closure. I need to see Monica and William's relationship. How is that? I need to see how Jabari's doing. If he got connected with growing up as an adult, did he have sex yet? Does he have a girlfriend? I need to see Maya and Darnell's relationship. How is their marriage doing? I need to see if Joe and Aaron gets back together. Does he make it out of the Marines or wherever he is overseas? Does he continue teaching? I need to see if Lynn finally gets this record deal that she wants, that she's been waiting for, and that people really take him serious as an artist. Like, these are the stories and the endings I need for myself. And y'all need to give it to us. I'm quite sure there's a lot of people who have other yearning questions about what's next or what should happen. But I know Mariah also said that is definitely a money issue, and she needs the studio to pay her X amount for that story to happen. Meaning that she probably already has a story that she probably has to tweak. It's just getting the money behind it. And I don't know what studio or what label or what anything would not want to sign a girlfriend's TV show, a girlfriend's movie. I don't know what person doesn't want to see these 4 black women back on the screens. But clearly they don't. So clearly it didn't happen yet. And it's been a year since Girlfriends has aired. And the last time that we've seen them together, thank you, Joan, for doing that. Or Miss Tracy Ellis Ross. Or Belle and her new show. Blackish. But it was well needed. That episode of Blackish was everything. It really gave us, like, we're back at it again. Like, this is new. We're in a new land. But we didn't miss a beat. Like, this is still the same stuff. This is a different atmosphere. And I loved it. And I'm happy that they can just go back into that connection, that time, whenever it need to be. But I feel like we deserve an ending. We deserve a proper ending, and I hope that we get it soon. So studios, please give us this proper ending. For you, for me, for the culture. Thank you. This is Kimi with the C, episode 65. Thank you for listening. Please let me know if you want to be on one of my podcasts, because I definitely want to talk about some other stuff, some different stuff, some stuff about music, other TV shows, definitely life and life experiences, and just really have some hard-hitting conversations that need to happen for us to grow. Thank you for listening. Spaghetti, everybody. It's Kimi, and I'm back with my tea of the day. Welcome to episode Siete y Ocho, Miss 68. Finally, I am almost at 100 episodes. That is so crazy. Thank y'all for this lovely ride I've been on. Let's get into it. Miss Ariana Grande dropped another album. Her 6th studio album. I listened to 3 out of the 6. I definitely listened to My Everything. I listened to Thank You Next, which was an amazing project. And now I just listened to and digested Positions. And I'm so here for Positions. It just dropped on October 30th. And this album is everything. It's everything I've ever wanted. And it makes me want to go back to some of her older works that I kind of missed. Like, I've heard pretty much all her singles that she dropped. But in terms of, like, the actual album works, I was skeptical. Just like I was skeptical with Thank You Next and like how great that was. And now I'm here at Positions. And this 14-track album is just a story that so many of us know very, very well. It's the story of thinking you're not worthy of love, finding a sex life, and then figuring out once you find that love in that sex life, it's the same thing. Then finding the aspect to allow yourself to love again. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to just feel and be in the moment, and don't necessarily make it as big as it is until it is a big deal. Kind of thing, just finding just different aspects of yourself from being happy now. Now she's in a better place, and she's not angry, and she's not dealing with breakups, she's not dealing with a lot of other life events. She found happiness, she found love, and that's amazing, and she completely displayed that for us as listeners. So let's go into this track listing. It starts with Shut Up. It goes down to 34-35, The Motive, featuring Miss Doja Cat, Miss Doja Kitty. Then it's Just Like Magic. Then it's Off the Table, featuring The Weeknd, aka Abel, 630. Then it's Safety Net, featuring Mr. Ty Dolla $ign. And then it is My Hair, Nasty, West Side, Love Language, Positions, Obvious, and P.O.B. Now, if you're new to my album reactions, let me just let you know, I definitely digest the album a little bit. I digest some of my favorite lines and songs off the album. This time, I'm probably actually going to give it a nice rating, number-wise, and I'm going to give you my top 4 tracks that personally just resonated with me. Of course, everyone's opinions and tops will be different, but I'm gonna have to give you my top 4. Now, rate this out of the albums I've heard, and just give this album a nice rating for our listeners. So, The album started off with Shut Up. She's telling all the haters, all of the blogs, all of these people who keep on talking about her, talking about how they feel like she's young, talking about her ponytail, talking about this, talking about that. And she's just letting everyone know, y'all need to shut up because I don't have time to deal with any of this stuff. And I'm tired of hearing about it. So I'm going to need for you to kindly shut up. And I was so here for it. It was not the best aspect of the album for me. I've heard stronger, definitely big openers and beginner songs, but I understood where she was coming from with them making this intro. And let me get into 34, 35. And this is a grown Ari. This is an Ari that we never thought we was going to get. We never thought we was going to hear her talk about sex or hear her talk about her sex life and what she wants and how she wants it and stuff like that. Me personally, I'm like, oh no. Like, I just still see, just like I guess a lot of people still see, like, she's younger. And she's young. And she's not. She's a grown-ass woman. She's in her 20s. And she has sex and she does what needs to be done. And I'm so here for it. And then the cleverness of when you add 61 and 34 and 35 together, it's 69. And that's just so basically clever how she did that. Instead of just naming it 69. Favorite part of that song for me was, I don't want to keep you up, but show me you can keep it up. Because then I'll have to keep you up. Can you stay up all night? Fuck me till the daylight. She's telling us how she wants it. If you can keep it up, we can go all night. Cause I'ma keep it up. And I was just here for it. Let me get into Miss Motives. Miss Motives is a cute track. I love the first three songs because, especially the second and third song, because of the strings. Like, she really was artistic in here. And you see the growth in her vocals and just her ability to use her voice and just her writing skills. With her and whoever else she had, her writing her amazing. But Motives, I loved Ari's part. I wasn't too keen with Doja Cat's part though. I don't know, maybe it's me, but I didn't care for it as much as I wanted to. I don't think she needed to be on this track, me personally. But it was a cute song. It was not my favorite, but it was a cute song. It did what it needed to do. We have Just Like Magic. And I'm just trying to remember the beat because I know the beat was sickening. And it was catchy. Just how, Ariana songs can be. With just memorized in your head and then you're just singing along. Even if you don't feel like it's the greatest song, but you're still singing along. Because it is just that memorizing. And that's Ariana Grande's, that's her power. So Just Like Magic. Then we get into Miss Off the Table, featuring Mr. Abel, The Weeknd. And this collaborative song was everything for me. Like, I needed this song. It was amazing, just the way their voices meshed together. Like, I know they worked together before, but them working together is just powerful. It's magical. It's just something that's breathtaking. It brings me back to, like, 80s and 90s R&B music and how collaborations are really just magical. It's needed. Especially just listening to the words. Like, let me tell you guys something real quick. Will I ever love the same way again? Will I ever love someone like the way I loved you? Never thought you'd be so damn hard to replace. If he can't have you, a love completely off the table. I don't know, especially for me and my past relationship with the person who I was with for 5 years. I definitely feel that way. That's kind of why I haven't tried to date anyone or anything like that. Because I feel like some days I feel like love is just off the table. Like, I thought I'd be over him, I am over him, but it's just the fact of just being so scared to just try something new and get into something different and just really just going for it. And yeah, it may not be the greatest situation, or maybe amazing. You just don't know. You just have to try. You just have to get in there. So no, love is not completely off the table, but this song, it speaks volumes, and I love their collaboration together. They have 6:30. Are you down or what? Are you down or what? Are you down? This is the song where she's just asking the gentleman, but are you down with me? Like, that's all cute. I'm Ariana Grande. I'm this, I'm that. But are you down for me? Are you down or what? Like, are we gonna do this? Are we gonna have a house on the hills? Are we gonna have the kids? Are we gonna actually be together? Or are you just here for materialistic things? What are you here for? And that ties into motives as well, of course, because everyone comes into a situation, a relationship, or some aspect of your life with a motive. They may not know it's a motive, or they may not perceive or look at as a motive at first, but hey, or there's no motive at all, but then magically a motive appears within that relationship or that chemistry or whatever that situation looks like. And then we get into Safety Net, featuring Ty Dolla $ign. And this song, from my initial listen, I was just at awe. I was gagged. I was swayed. I really wasn't expecting this at all. So, you know you're really something. Yeah. How did we get this far? So, how did we get here so fast? So she's asking her significant other, like, I didn't expect to fall for you so fast. Like, how did we get here so fast? We were just talking, and now I'm in love, or now I'm in strong like, or how did we get here so fast? And that's what love does. If you ever been in love, like, it's no time limit. Like, it moves when it needs to move. And you could be talking to someone for 10 years and I have loved them. Or you can be talking to someone for 3 months and love them completely and cold-heartedly and utterly in love. This all depends. Tripping, falling, with no safety net. Boy, it must be something that you said. Is it real this time? Or is it just in my head? Got me tripping, falling, with no safety net. We've all been there. We've all been just falling in love with someone. And how scary that is, but then how emotional and how just amazing that feels. To know that you can love again. To know that you can find love and love can find you. It's just that mixture of all emotions just sitting there. And you're just so open that your guard is all down. You're completely here, but you still scared and don't know if you're making the right decision. Powerful song. Then you get into My Hair. We all know it's like a remake or a remake or just a celebrity. Basically, you know, not a redone song because it's kind of still different, but it's still, in terms of the same thing as Miss India.Arie, where she plainly says she's not my, I am not my hair, I am not the skin, I am not the everything should know. And Miss Aubrey was like, no, you couldn't put your hands through my hair. You can pull it, you can grab it, it's okay. That's what it's here for. Don't be scared of my hair, it's okay. Sometimes I have tracks, sometimes it's my hair. Get used to it. And I was happy with how how unapologetic she was, and how open she was. Like, no, play with my hair, it's okay. Like, I'm not the type of girl who don't like that. She's telling us what she likes, and that was everything for me. Let me get into Nasty. Nasty. This song, the title, I already know I liked it, even from before initial listen. But when I listened to it and got deciphered or digested the lyrics, here's some. I just want to make time for you. Swear it's just right for you. Like this pussy designed for you. 10 out of 5 for you. No oversign on that line for you. Promise I'm gonna give it to you like you never had it. I do it so good. It's gonna be hard to break this habit. Period. Like, she's telling you her shit is top notch. And now you're gonna have a habit once you have it. And I'm completely okay with that. Like, I'm here for it. I'm here for this freaky, unapologetic sexual woman. I'm happy that she's here and she's just grown and vulnerable to talk about this stuff now. Then we get into Westside. And Westside gave me complete 90s R&B. It gave me complete Brandy's undertone all through the song. The beat gave me a little Aaliyah, and like her voice and her tone definitely gave me Brandy, and I was here for it. I love this song. I didn't dissect the lyrics for y'all, but this song was definitely good. Then we get into Love Language, and this is one of my favorite songs off this album, and out of her discography that I've heard. There's the artistic feel, this jazz feel, the funk feel, just so different. You have to stand. You have to love it, you have to stand. And if you don't, that's the problem with you, and you have to get yourself together. But if you're gonna keep speaking my love language, you gotta talk shit all night. Yeah, the medication when I'm feeling anxious. That's the kind of shit I like. Teach me how to love you. I'm unlearning what ain't right. I want you to keep speaking my love language. Baby, talk your shit all night. This is the part of the relationship where you begin to have sex and you begin to learn each other and what each other likes and doesn't like. In terms of the bedroom, in terms of outside the bedroom, like speaking each other's love language. And sometimes it's hard to do. But here she's telling him exactly what he likes, exactly what she likes. And he got us to do that. It's like, I'm quite sure he told her what he likes. And it's just that. Then we get into Miss Positions, which we all know. I'm not sure what I said, I wasn't sold on it. I felt like it didn't have the juice as all her older or her other lead singles had. I felt like it wasn't bad. I definitely understand the women empowerment. I understand the whole concept of the song, and I like it. It's definitely the bop. However, I definitely felt like, I don't know, like it had all the characteristics of her lead singles: catchy, something to sing along to, something just comfortable but not so complex, kind of simple. But I don't know, I just felt like it was missing something. I can't necessarily say what, but it was missing something. And then after Positions is definitely Obvious. And that song is basically getting into, isn't it obvious that I like you? Isn't it obvious that I'm in love? Isn't it obvious that we need to be together? Last but not least, off this album is POV, Points of View. And off initial listen, I cried. When I say the growth in this woman, is beyond anything I could ever imagine. Just the things that she can just do and the places that she can take you within this album. It's just amazing. It gives me hope that I can one day fall back in love. It gives me hope that I'm right and I'm enough and I need to be respected. My Point of View is my favorite song off the album. It is very emotional. It's very tearfelt. It is just a classic song that would help behold the end of time. This song will live on for many decades. She made this with care. She made this with love. She made this with emotion. You felt the emotions when she sung this. And if you have never been here, I don't know what to tell you. Hopefully you get here. Because it is wonderful and it's magical and it is just amazing. I want to love you. I want to love me the way that you love me. For all of my pretty and all of my ugly too. I'd love to see me from your point of view. I want to trust me the way that you trust me. Because nobody ever loved me the way you do. I love to see me from your point of view. Like, if that doesn't sound like a classic, like I Believe I Can Fly, or Pretty Hurts, or Miss Mariah Carey's One Sweet Day, Whitney Houston, I'll Always Love You. If it doesn't sound like a classic, then you don't know what classic music is. Like, that song solidified her whole album. And I love the way she ended it. She ended it on another emotional state. I really love this album. For me, music is an emotion and it feeds whatever emotion you're dealing with at that particular moment. That's why you will love or hate an album or love or hate a song. And this album fed me for days. It completely healed me up. It completely did what it needed to do. And it touched my heart. And hopefully it touched a lot of other people's hearts who heard it. So, my top 4 songs. Of course, number 1 is definitely POV. Number 2 is Off the Table. Number 3 is Nasty. And number 4 is Love Language. I want to rate this album. I still want to see the more videos. I know we're not going to get a tour because we're in the pandemic, but I definitely want to see a few more videos off this album. But just from the album standpoint, I would have to give it a strong 8 out of 10. A strong 8 out of 10. I feel like this album could have been a cute 12 album song. A 12 song album. And that would have been perfectly fun as well. Now, listening to my everything, Thank You Next, and now here, if I have to rate these 3 albums, I would have to do it by positions, Thank You Next, and then My Everything. Even though My Everything is a beautiful album, I don't want to put that last. But Thank You Next definitely resonated with me as well when she dropped it. Ariana, you've been killing it. This is going to be another awards week for you. You've just been growing personally, physically. You've just been growing as an artiste. And I'm happy to see you grow, and I'm happy to be on this ride with you. As you grow, these vocals on this album was beyond amazing. Like, she is one of the best vocalists of our time. You might hate it, but it's the fact. Like, and that's why she's compared to Mariah Carey. Because Mariah Carey is the vocalist. Point blank. But Ariana Grande, that whistle tone. When she gets into that lower register, and when she hits those whistle tones, like, what song was that? I definitely think it was Just Like Magic. And I think it was Safety Net. No, and it was My Hair. I think it was Just Like Magic in My Hair, where she basically sung the whole song. One of the songs she sung the whole song in her whistle tone. And the other one, she ended the song with the whistle tone. Singing. Completely. Y'all girls are not doing it like that. Your girls are not doing it like that. Y'all have to get your cookies up. You have to just respect that she's a grown woman now. And she's going to continue to thrive. And for the people who keep on putting this under pop, it has pop undertones, but this is an R&B album. Ariana Grande is an R&B artist. Does she play in pop? Absolutely. She played in pop. But she's an R&B artist, and this is an R&B album. Complete R&B album. Like, old school R&B album. She tapped in, she did her homework, and she made sure that she delivered that. Thank y'all for listening. This is Kimmy with this His channel. Laters.